Okay, we have finally arrived. Good afternoon, college football fans, and welcome to the last episode of the season. This is College Football 26, season long Imperialism, and we have arrived at the national championship, both in Imperialism and in real life. We have been building towards this for months. We began back in August with 136 teams this map, and only two remain. One of them has an extra life. Now, my plan for this episode was going to be to watch the game all the way through and see how it ends. But I'm now very sick, and I have something much more important happening tomorrow, so I'm going to be saving my voice for that and making this a much shorter episode. So the plan is we're going to simulate through the first half, and then if the game isn't close, honestly, we're just going to skip to the last couple minutes and then watch the end of it just so we can see the national championship celebration. But here is we'll get to the scenarios in a second. First, we have to give out some end of year awards. Actually, no, we'll do that. We'll do that before the other stream. It's fine. Here are the scenarios for how this episode could work. If Ohio State beats Miami on the first try, then that's it. And they're national championship champions. They win and they keep the extra life for our marathon stream in February. If Miami wins, that's where it gets complicated because Ohio State loses their extra life, but Miami gains one because it would be their fifth victory of the tournament. We would rematch the game. And then if Ohio State wins, then Miami loses their extra life, and then we go into a winner-take-all actual national championship as a game 3. So this could be decided in one game, could be decided in 2, could be decided in 3. We don't know until we play them. So here we go. This is potentially our last wheel spin. It's not letting me shuffle. There we go. Let's get this going. Who will be the road team? It's going to be Miami on the road, technically, even though the game is in Miami, just like in real life. But we'll see if they actually land on it or if we flip this again and Miami maybe becomes the home team. Let's take a look. No, we got to spin it again, just for formality's sake. Now it'll be Ohio State. And we'll see if they play or if we have to shuffle the wheel again. So there's Ohio State. Here we go. And we have to spin it again. So we shuffle. Here we go. Back on to Miami. There's the map. There we go. And we have to do it again. Shuffle and go. Miami again. Okay. My voice is so dead. All right, there we go. So Miami will be the road team. Ohio State will be at home. Let's get it set up. Give me 1 second. That is working. Okay. Over here. So there's Miami. We'll give them their home uniform. Ohio State will also be in there. Well, I will Heritage Stripe again. These are essentially the two most talented teams in the entire tournament. It makes sense that they both made it this far. And even though this might not end in an actual national championship, we're going to do the national championship broadcast for all of the games, and then we will just not watch the ending if Miami wins. Now I just got to set up one more thing. Give me 1 second to do that. Closer. Just setting up both rosters. Okay. Oh, one more thing. Where's my phone? Gotta get the laying right. It's not going to be much of a difference because we're doing this during the day, but, you know, got to maintain consistency when it counts. There we go. Okay. Let's advance. All right, folks, we have reached the end game. These are the last two teams of the tournament. Ohio State made it here by winning 6 games. They have not lost once. Miami made it here by winning 4 and then taking advantage of their very advantageous spot on the map. Miami's actually in the national championship tonight, playing against Indiana. Ohio State was able to make it here. Despite losing to Indiana in real life, they are now here for this battle. Carson Beck and the Miami Hurricanes run out onto the field, greeting their home crowd as the technical road team of this game. It's the Imperialism National Championship for our season-long tournament. Neither of these teams has ever won Imperialism before. It'll be their first victory. And we'll see if this version of the game is actually the one that decides it, or if Miami wins and we keep playing. The uniforms are quite similar, so you're going to have to look at the helmets instead of the jerseys. I think we have to do this again. We're going to give Miami their green uniforms. So here we go. Carson Beck lines everybody up. 3 wide receivers to his left. He's going to hand it off to Fletcher, and Fletcher gets absolutely nothing. So we are going to skip the first half here. We'll go to next quarter just to see how the first quarter goes. No score. Ohio State up 7-0. Miami responds but misses the extra point. It's 14-6. And we're just going to skip a little bit here. 17-6. All right, we're going to jump in here for 2nd and 6. Miami down 11 with 1:16 to go in the third. This could be the end of Imperialism right here. Let's get it going. Ohio State's defense has completely shut down Miami's offense so far. They scored 1 touchdown, missed the extra point, or had it blocked, I assume. So here comes Carson Beck. He takes a snap, waits, throws short. That's going to be caught by number 10. That's Malachi Tony on the outside. And Tony gets a crucial first down for Miami. Carson Beck still has less than 100 passing yards in this game. He has been completely shut down. So Beck lines everyone up again. Hands it off to Fletcher, who tries to go outside and only gets 1 yard. James Brockermeyer, one of their best offensive linemen, is now down with an injury. That's not good for them. All right, so Beck lines up in the shotgun. He is going to fake, wait, throw over the middle. It's another first down, and watch out, 40, 35, 30, 25, all the way down to the 20-yard line. It's a beautiful play. I believe that's to Ray Joseph, who flies outside for a big-time play at the end of the third quarter. Ray Joseph, who's been Miami's leading receiver all year in their 4 games so far, gives them just a little bit of hope as we go into the fourth quarter of the national championship game. Beck waits, throws short. It's going to be caught by Alex Bauman, the tight end. Bauman gets taken down after a gain of 6. It's a good play for him. Moves them officially into the red zone. I mean, a field goal will be nice here, but they would really love to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. Beck throws short. Another first down. That's going to be C.J. Daniels making the catch for Miami to give them the first down as the clock continues to run. They should be careful with how they use the clock here because they want to make sure they have enough time for themselves, regardless of what they have to do on this next drive. And you got to score a touchdown here because this is going to be a short field goal, which is very, very difficult to convert in this game. Beck has to throw it quick to Mark Fletcher. He tries to spin and is completely obliterated by Sonny Styles, who's had a very good tournament for himself. It's a loss of a couple. So here's Beck once again. He's going to toss to the outside quickly. That's Ray Joseph again. He only picks up 2. I don't understand that play call. You got to try and go for something that gains more yards as soon as the receiver catches the ball. Because they don't have to back up at all. They can just crash in on whatever short yards plays you do. We've seen some really bad logic from the CPU in these last couple of games. It's been unfortunate because it's affected a lot of these results. Beck fakes the handoff. Maybe he's going to run it himself. He has all the space in the world. There he goes. And they had oh, no. Oh, no. Miami recovers the fumble for a loss of 2. Carson Beck was staring the spy in the face and was like, no, yeah, I could beat him. I can get to the outside on him. He couldn't. And he lost the ball because of it. Miami retains it, and now they will have to go for a field goal from 30 yards out. It's Bert Auburn. He hasn't missed a kick all year besides the blocked extra point from earlier. That one's up, and it is good. So it's 17-9 Ohio State with about 5 minutes to play. Miami's defense needs to come up with a massive stop in order to give their offense another bite at the apple to try and tie this game. And there goes the kick. Here comes the return from number 5, and he is dropped at the 17-yard line. Great coverage from Miami's special teams unit. So here's Julian Sayin. Handing it off up the middle to James Peoples, I think. Yep, he has 7 carries for 59 yards in the day. He's been efficient, just doing what he can with every run that he's been given. That's all he can do. 2nd and 7 now, as Sayin lines everybody up. He's going to toss it outside wide open to number 1. Look at that play to Brandon Innes. picking up a huge amount of yards and getting Ohio State up to the 32-yard line for first down. The clock continues to run. .3:55 to play. Sayin hands it off to Peoples on the inside. He can't do anything with that one. It'll only be 2 yards picked up for Ohio State. I'm not sure where Bo Jackson is. He might have been hurt earlier in the game. But they're having to rely on their second-string running back, James Peoples, now. So here's second down. Sayin spreads everybody out. Takes the snap, gives to Peoples again. Peoples has a lane. He cannot get the first down, though. Miami's able to shut him down. It'll be 3rd and a long 3 for this offense. Just 3 minutes left. Miami needs to stop here or else they're going to have to start using their timeouts. And they are chewing clock. Nobody's covering the outside receiver. No one's covering him. Number 0 goes to him at the last second. Lines up. Sayin takes the snap, wants to go deep to win the game. He has all the time in the world. Launches. That pass is going to be incomplete. He missed him. Oh, my God. Number 0 for Miami nearly lost in the game. That was Keontae Scott, who forgot where to line up. Got there at the last second, was able to cover him in press coverage on a go route to save the game for Miami. And now the clock stops. Miami gets to keep all their timeouts, and they have one drive to try and tie this game. There goes the punt. And it'll be returned only to the 25-yard line. That is where Miami will get started. Carson Beck lines to the troops again. You got Malachi Toney in press coverage at the top of your screen. They hand it up to no. They're going to keep it for Carson Beck and lose 3 yards. Caden McDonald blows that play up. Bring up 2nd and 13, and this might run all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Yeah, nothing doing there. Caden McDonald made the right read. And shut that play down. Miami starting in a hole. Let's see if they can dig their way out of it. Beck is going to... No, he's going to RPO it to CJ Daniels, who breaks 1 tackle, but can only pick up 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and about 10 with 2 minutes to play. Miami's offensive play calling has been god-awful. And it might hand the national championship to Ohio State without a fight. Tony's in press coverage at the top of your screen. Press coverage at the bottom of your screen as well on CJ Daniels. Beck launches deep. He's got a man. That is dropped. Ohio State able to shut it down, and this national championship will come down to 4th down. Miami's last chance. Will Ohio State win their first natty in Imperialism, or will Miami keep their season alive? Press coverage again on Malachi Toney. Beck waits, throws short, caught, first down. It's Alex Bauman. Right when they needed him to show up, he gets his 5th catch of the ball game. He's got 59 receiving yards, and Miami is not dead yet. They use their first timeout, which means they're putting all of their eggs into this basket. If they don't score here, Ohio State has won the natty. Beck throws short. It's going to be dropped. And they're probably... No, they say he caught it. Oh, that's a weird ref ruling. That ball flew out of bounds. But the clock will run. They gain 4 yards, and Miami's in trouble. They still have to go 52 more yards in about 80 seconds. Beck throws short, caught. That's a great move by number 0. That's Keelan Marion making a great move inside to give Miami a first down up to the 43-yard line, but they've still got a long way to go. 1:19 to play. They're saving their timeouts just in case he's sacked. Tony's on the outside in a trips formation. Beck waits. Needs to throw it now. He launches deep. That pass is dropped. Ray Joseph had it in his hands, but Ohio State's defender was able to knock it out. It'll be 2nd and 10. One chance left for Miami. Beck under pressure. Throws short. Going to be caught by Tony. They finally got the ball to him. And Malachi Tony, did he get the first down? No. So they'll be forced to use a timeout here from the 33-yard line. Oh, boy. The line of scrimmage and the first down marker are right on top of each other. They might just hand this off to Fletcher, and they do. Mark Fletcher gets the first down. And a whole lot more up to the 25, down to the 22. 58 seconds to go. They're not going to stop the clock. They're on the precipice of the red zone. But they haven't had any good play calls down here yet. They need to refresh their offensive strategy if they want to tie this game and move this one to overtime potentially. 45 seconds left. Beck throws short, caught by Daniels. I think he reestablished momentum behind the first down line. 15 seconds are going to come off the clock. Miami is playing this right to the edge. They're not giving Ohio State any time to work with. So they're going to start this with 25 seconds to go. They are 13 yards away from potential game-tying touchdown. Tony on the outside. Beck throws short. First down. Watch out. Joseph to the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Ray Joseph blasts through the secondary. And now it will all come down to a 2-point conversion to decide this season. Miami makes it there with 17 seconds to go. They could not have played that drive better. Can Ohio State come up with one stop to win the national championship, or will Miami send this game to overtime and potentially make this a much longer episode of Imperialism? Let's find out. It will be a 2-point conversion. Ohio State lines everybody up. Beck in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers to his left. He hands it off to Fletcher, and Fletcher is stopped. And Ohio State has won. Oh my God, they ran the ball. Every time we've seen a running attempt on a 2-point conversion, it's failed. Miami tries the onside kick. It bounces way up in the air, and Ohio State recovers. The Ohio State Buckeyes are going to march into enemy territory in the national championship, and they have won. Ohio State is your 2026 season-long Imperialism national champion. We do not have to play this game 2 more times. We do not have to give an extra life to Miami. Ohio State has won outright, 17-15. Miami's offensive play calling kills them in the end. Carson Beck goes home without any titles to speak of. And look at the Buckeyes raise that trophy into the air. It's the result you could have predicted after how last year went in real life for Ohio State. They maintained a lot of that roster, brought in a good quarterback in Julian Sayin, who had 192 passing yards and the 1 touchdown that really mattered. The blocked extra point does Miami in, because all they would have had to do was kick a game-tying extra point at the end there to send it to overtime. But instead, Ohio State stops the 2-point conversion and wins Imperialism. Let's go to the map in one moment. There we go. This is refreshed. You can see that. There we go. Got that island. In Miami, you won the state of Florida. You had your chances, but you came up just short. Territory can only get you so far. You got to play the games. Bye-bye. Go. The last border has been removed. They're just going to go up to Maine and give Ohio State their last state. go. And then we'll keep the extra life. Let's just take a look at this map. Here is your last map for the year. The Ohio State Buckeyes are your Imperialism national champions. They went 7-0. They played in the very first game of this tournament, but barely beating Cincinnati 17-16. And then they went on like a streak of around 120 consecutive wheel spins without getting picked. And they beat a couple of teams in the MAC wall. They took down, I believe, Ball State and Kent State and one other that's completely slipping my mind. And they beat Illinois in order to get their extra life. They beat Oregon to get their 6th victory, and then they beat Miami at the end. It was a perfect strategy. They played this tournament so well. And now they get to go home with a national championship. So here is the plan going forward. I believe on February 16th? No, February 15th is a Sunday. I'm going to attempt a huge tournament. It's going to be 128 teams. We're going to eliminate the worst 8 performers from this season-long Imperialism tournament based on a whole bunch of stats that I'm putting together now. And we will go through that in a traditional bracket-style tournament to see who wins the marathon stream. Ohio State will retain their extra life for that tournament. Meanwhile, we got to go back to the wheel here and eliminate Miami. There we go. Ohio State. Just take a look at it with just their name on there. There we go. The Buckeyes are your last remaining team. Let's go to stats one last time. Julian Sayans, 17-28, 192 and a touchdown. Carson Beck did have an interception in this game, 20 of 28 for 193. Running the ball, Mark Fletcher Jr. was mostly held in check, 12 carries for 61 yards. Carson Beck had nothing. Sharmar Brown had nothing. Jordan Lyle had nothing. James Peoples was the bell cow. Julian Sand got nothing. Bo Jackson only had 5 carries for 7 yards. C.J. Donaldson, Jelani Thurman, and Jeremiah Smith all got held in check. Go to receiving Carnell Tate, 5 for 78. Max Clare, 5 for 54. Brandon Innes, 4 for 27 and a touchdown. James Peoples, 2 for 22. Bryson Rogers, 1 for 11. As for the Hurricanes, C.J. Daniels, 5 for 26. Alex Ballman, 5 for 59. 4 for 66 from Ray Joseph and a touchdown. 3 for 35 from Malachi Toney. Mark Fletcher Jr., 2 for -1. Keelan Marion, 1 for 8. Justin Scott, 2 TFLs and 1.5 sacks. Ruben Bain, 2 TFLs and half a sack. No interceptions. Wesley Bastain's the only pass breakup. Damari Brown and Darius Hayes both forced fumbles. Neither was recovered from Miami. They had so many chances to get into this game and didn't take any of them. For the Buckeyes, you've got a whole bunch of TFLs. Edric Houston with 2. Davison Igbenasson with 1. Arvell Reese with 1 and a pass breakup and 2 forced fumbles. Caden McDonald with 1 TFL and a sack. Caleb Downs with 1 TFL. Sonny Styles with 1. 1-1 for Kenyatta Jackson. Tywone Malone Jr. gets his first TFL of the season in the national championship. Jermaine Matthews Jr. gets the interception. Lorenzo Styles Jr., Malik Hartford, Jalen McLean, and Arvell Reese get the pass breakups. 1 recovery for Arvell Reese. He returned it for 12 yards. 1 block for Caden McDonald on the extra point. Then ended up winning them the game. No defensive touchdowns. In the kicking game, Jaden Fielding missed 2 field goals but made both of his extra points. And Bert Auburn missed an extra point at the end. He had made every single one of his other kicks throughout the tournament but missed that extra point when it mattered. So we go back. We take a look at the map one more time. We honor Ohio State. We'll announce the Imperialism players of the game, or players of the tournament, at the start of the marathon stream once I figure that out because I'm too tired to do anything else. But that is the end of season-long Imperialism from August until now. Ohio State bookended the tournament with 1 win in game 1. got 5 other wins to pick up their extra life, and then won the national championship in one try. So that is it. I will see y'all in mid-February for the marathon stream. Bye-bye.